it's a very, very small, vulnerable, inspiring, courageous, and brave community that fills me with a lot of inspiration.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
Apparently, Pedro Pascal thought the Fantastic Four red carpet premiere was the perfect time to give a sermon about the movie? No. To promote it? No. To hype up the cast? No. But to remind you that trans rights matter. After all, let's be real, why else would you be there? But before we get into all of that, I'm Chase, and this is Cut to the Chase with me, Chase. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you have not yet already. Let's back up just a little bit on who Pedro Pascal is. Because if it seems like Pedro Pascal has kind of gone off the rails, you could say, I don't think you're misguided. I think you're actually spot on. I think we are actually indeed witnessing that. To back up just a little bit into 2021, not too long ago, Pedro has a brother. His name is Lucas. And Lucas decided he wanted to become Lux, which I guess is a girl name. Lucas wanted to become a girl. And like I said, that was back in 2021. And it seems like ever since that happened, Pedro Pascal has lost his damn mind. Okay. I think he really took that advice from Tombstone that Morgan says to Wyatt Earp.
Ah, God, don't tell me.
Like you said, Wyatt, we're brothers. Gotta back your brother's play.
And we're going to get into some of those examples of Pedro's mind breaking in just a second. But why you clicked on this video, him at the Fantastic Four premiere, I think it was Germany or something like that. I don't remember exactly. But he takes the time to make sure we all remember the plight of trans people. So let's go ahead and pull up that video. Jose, go and get that ready. And let's dive right into it.
It's important to, protect people and human beings, especially those that are simply asking for the right to exist in the bodies that belong to them and in the world that they never asked to be brought into.
Oh,
and
cut.
It's a very, very small...
Jose, cut. Let's unpack what he just said. This is something that gets said a lot, that they are born into the wrong bodies. They didn't ask for this. We didn't ask to be born. That's a very widely accepted excuse. Au contraire, hear me out for a second. I think in a way that is true. You could make an argument that we didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask to be born. I'll concede that point. However, trans people do actually make a particular choice to be born because they go from their birth gender to some assumed status. So you could safely say that trans people do, in fact, make a choice to be born. Quite specifically, in a way, I and people like me are actually more disenfranchised than a trans person because we didn't elect for this. If by nature of the situation is that none of us chose to be born, I didn't choose to be here, but they get that opportunity. They are indeed more privileged. It's actually quite mind-blowing when you think about it. I never thought about that until just now. Pedro, thank you. Thank you for highlighting my lived experience and pointing out how disenfranchised I am. I didn't think I'd come to this, but we are. Here we are. All right, Pedro, please continue.
And it's a very, very small, vulnerable, inspiring, courageous, and brave community that fills me with a lot of inspiration. And so therefore, I think that, it's very important to protect that in humanity. They would do that for us.
Would they do that for us? I don't know if they would. I don't know. Like when I hear those TikToks and I hear the threats that they make, we may have a disagreement there. So anyway, that's Pedro's spiel over there on the red carpet at the Fantastic Four premiere. I think one of the key takeaways is never miss an opportunity to virtue signal. Never, never. So like I said, Pedro Pascal, I really feel like ever since his brother decided to transition, that Pedro's mind just kind of broke. And he's been lashing out in many ways, especially at J.K. Rowling. Because J.K. Rowling is a champion of women's rights, quite specifically women's rights. And he's called her a heinous loser. What else did he say? She makes me effing sick. He said that last month. And he's also gone against the Trump administration because the Trump administration cut funds towards the LGBTQ LMNOP, I think, plus community in the suicide hotline. That's specifically for that community. Now, that may seem like, oh, why would he do such a thing? Well, it's because there's already a hotline for teens that are struggling with that. And they can just call that line. We don't need to fund two organizations that are doing the same thing. So Pedro got mad about that. And then also just recently at the Thunderbolts premiere, he was also seen sporting a Dolls t-shirt, which is slang for transgender women. He's definitely a lot more outspoken. I think Pedro loves his brother, but I really think Pedro has let his brother break his mind. But I'd love to know what you guys think about Pedro Pascal, this situation. Is his virtue signaling actually helping anything? Or is it just that, just virtue signaling to an audience who doesn't care? Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like this video, please go down and like it. If you have not yet already, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell for notifications. And as always, guys, peace out.